I caught my fiancée in bed with my best friend a week before our wedding. Her family begged me to forgive her because the cake was already paid for. I walked away without looking back. Hello, Reddit I plus here. I, 27, was engaged to a woman I thought was my soulmate. Lena, 26. We'd been together for 4 years, and for most of it, things felt perfect. She was kind, smart, funny, supportive. I genuinely thought I hit the jackpot. I proposed on our 3rd anniversary at a cabin in the Smokies, and she said yes through tears. We set our wedding date for exactly 1 year later, April 5th. My best friend, Matt, 28M, had been my ride or die since high school. We were practically brothers. He helped me move 3 times, loaned me money when I was broke after college, and even took care of my mom when I had surgery last year and couldn't be there. He and Lena got along really well, which I always thought was a blessing, or a curse in hindsight. The wedding planning was chaotic, but exciting. We booked a gorgeous venue at a historic estate, paid for a live band. Lena's family chipped in for the cake, which she insisted be from some fancy bakery in Charlotte that cost over $1,000. The week before the wedding, Lena moved most of her stuff into my apartment, and we started prepping to merge our lives. On the Tuesday before the wedding, I had to stay overnight at a hotel an hour away for a work training. My plan was to be back Wednesday afternoon, but that Tuesday night, I left my laptop charger at home and had a presentation first thing Wednesday morning, so I drove back around 11 p.m. to grab it. When I walked into the apartment, I knew something was off immediately. The lights were off, but there was a pair of shoes by the door that weren't mine, or Lena's, men's shoes. I thought maybe her brother had stopped by or something. I went to the bedroom and, yeah, I caught Lena and Matt in our bed, my bed, the same bed where she'd fallen asleep crying happy tears after we picked out our wedding rings 2 months earlier. They both froze like deer in headlights. Lena screamed. Matt looked like he'd seen a ghost. I didn't say a word. I just turned around, walked out, and slammed the door. I spent the night in my car, outside my mom's house, because I didn't know how to explain any of it. I didn't sleep. The next morning, my phone was flooded. Missed calls from Lena, from Matthew, from Lena's sister, her mom, her aunt. They were all saying some variation of, "She made a mistake. It's just cold feet. She still wants to marry you." And, my favorite, the cake was already paid for, like that was supposed to make me forget what I saw. When I finally responded to Lena 2 days later, I told her the wedding was off, and I'd be mailing her the ring. Her family went ballistic. They kept insisting that nothing really happened, that it was just a stupid moment of doubt, and that calling off the wedding over one mistake was immature. Her dad even had the balls to say, "If you leave her now, you're throwing away 4 years. That's more selfish than what she did." I wish that was the worst of it. It wasn't. A week later, I got drinks with another friend of mine, James, who'd been oddly distant during all the wedding planning. He admitted that he hadn't wanted to get involved, but he knew something I didn't. Turns out Lena and Matt had been hooking up on and off for nearly a year. It started at her birthday party after everyone else had left. James had walked in on them kissing in the hallway and assumed they were both drunk and it was a one-time mistake. But he'd caught them together again. He said he never told me because he hoped they'd stop before the wedding, and he didn't want to ruin everything. They didn't stop. They just got sneakier. All those late-night study sessions Lena had during her grad program, Matt was her tutor. The weekend she said she was helping her sister move, she was out of town with him. I confronted Matt, through text, because I knew I couldn't stay calm in person, and all he said was, "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I still love you, man." Love me? He slept with the woman I planned to spend my life with, lied to my face for months, played best man at my engagement party. I ghosted both of them completely after that, blocked everyone on her side of the family, canceled everything, lost a deposit on the honeymoon, but it was worth every penny not to share that trip with someone who never loved me like I thought she did. It's been 6 months now. I've started therapy. I've gone no contact with Matt. Lena texted me last month to say she was truly sorry and that she'd never stop loving me. I didn't reply. I don't care that the cake was paid for. I was the one who almost paid for a lifetime of betrayal. I walked away, and I didn't look back. After walking away, I thought the hardest part was behind me. It wasn't. The real pain came in the silence. People stopped knowing what to say around me. Friends picked sides. My phone barely buzzed for weeks unless it was my mom checking in or my therapist reminding me of appointments. Mutual friends I'd known for years suddenly went radio silent, probably because they didn't want to get in the middle of it. Some quietly kept Lena in their circles, like nothing had happened. I felt humiliated, disposable, and worse, replaceable. I kept wondering, how long had I been the fool in the room? Every memory became a landmine. That weekend at the cabin? Was she already sleeping with Matt then? The surprise party Matt and Lena threw for my birthday? Were they laughing behind my back? The spiral was brutal. But there was one thing that helped me keep my sanity. My younger sister, Riley. She'd never liked Lena. I always thought it was just protective sibling energy. But she told me something a few weeks later that stopped me cold. She always smiled too much when he was around, Riley said. And he never looked you in the eye when she was in the room. I hadn't seen it. Or maybe I didn't want to. The original wedding date passed like a funeral. I took the day off, turned my phone off, and went fishing with my dad. A tradition we used to do every Father's Day. He didn't say much, but halfway through the trip, he handed me a letter. I found this in your mom's stuff, he said. She wrote it before she passed. Said to give it to you before your wedding day. I almost didn't read it. But that night, alone in my apartment, I opened the envelope and unfolded the paper. Her handwriting hit me like a gut punch. In it, she told me that love should never feel confusing. That if I ever found myself justifying pain as part of the package, I needed to run. Real love, she wrote, is the safest place you'll ever be. If it ever becomes the thing you fear most, that's not love anymore. That's a cage. I broke down. She had been gone 3 years, but in that moment, she saved me again. 2 months after the canceled wedding, I got a message on Instagram from someone I didn't recognize. Sarah. She said she was Matt's ex-girlfriend. We met for coffee. Apparently, she and Matt had been dating at the same time he was hooking up with Lena. She found out about Lena because of me. When the wedding got canceled, she got suspicious and checked his phone. Not only did she find texts and photos of Lena, but he had done the same thing to one of her friends the year before. It was a pattern, a twisted game for him. Women who were unavailable or committed, the thrill of sneaking around, of being the guy who could take someone away from someone else. Matt never loved Lena. She was just another trophy. I don't know if she knows that yet, but she will. It happened in the most unexpected place. My cousin's wedding, 3 months after mine was supposed to happen. I almost didn't go, but Riley convinced me. Said it was time to stop letting their choices decide how I lived my life. Lena was there. She looked different. Not worse, not better, just smaller, like her confidence had withered. We locked eyes across the reception hall, and eventually she came over. No dramatic entrance, no begging, just stood next to me while I watched the dance floor. You look good, she said. I didn't reply. I don't expect you to forgive me, she added. But I need you to know. Matt ghosted me 2 weeks after the wedding was called off. I thought we had something. I guess I was wrong. I looked at her. For the first time, I didn't feel pain, just pity. You weren't wrong, I said quietly. You just picked someone who treats people like games, and you played along. She blinked. Her eyes started to water. I lost everything, she whispered. No, I said, finishing my drink. You threw it away. There's a difference, and I walked away. This time, for good. It's been almost a year since everything fell apart. I've changed jobs, moved to a new place, even started dating again. Slowly, carefully, I trust less easily now, but I do trust myself more. Losing Lena and Matt hurt, but I realized something I wish I'd known sooner. You don't need to fight to keep people who were never fighting to stay. And no matter how beautiful the cake is, it's not worth choking on betrayal just to pretend you're happy.